Hi guys, Peter McKenzie here with Rincon Property Management. We're out here today to make a video on assistance animals. And I got my dog Boomer here since it's fitting because we're talking about pets. But unfortunately we're getting some rain and we're in Southern California and we never get rain, but today we got rain. So we're just gonna push through. The video I wanna talk, the topic I wanna talk about is what to do when you have a no pet policy and your prospective tenant tells you, oh, okay, well, I have a service animal or an assistance animal. What do you do then? Because you know there's laws that govern assistance animals, but if you're gonna be a landlord in our area anyway, you need to be up to speed, almost an expert on those laws so you can keep yourself safe. So let's start off with the two types of animals. So you have a service animal and you have an assistance animal. A service animal is governed by the Americans with Disabilities Act, and it applies to public areas, not really to you as a landlord and if you're going to let a service animal in your house. What applies to you when you're renting out a private area like your house is the Fair Housing Act. Come on, Boomer, come on. The Fair Housing Act is what governs whether or not you have to accept someone that says they have an assistance animal. So service animal, public areas, and it's very specific on what it is. It's either a miniature horse or a dog. Assistance animals, there is no requirement that it has to be a particular animal. It could be a bird, a snake, a lion, probably not a lion, a cat. So that's an assistance animal. A service animal, you cannot ask them to verify the reason why they have the service animal. That is against the law. With an assistance animal, you absolutely can verify the disability, but the law only allows you to ask 2 questions, and we'll put the 2 questions up for you guys to see, and we'll link to a report that goes over that at the end as well. Now, someone presents you with a service animal. They can present you with the animal when they apply, after they move in, after they got approved, after they've lived there for 2 years. If they request that accommodation of their disability, you have an obligation as a landlord to follow the proper procedure. It can get tricky. You don't want to be in the business of denying somebody with a disability. Usually people who are disabled are very aware of the rights afforded to them by the laws that we have to help them. If you deny somebody something that they're legally entitled to and a lawyer gets a hold of it, I guarantee you, you will be sued. It is not a position you want to be in. So what are you supposed to do as a landlord if somebody presents you with this request? Here's my advice. Hire a third party that screens applications for assistance animals, who has their own lawyers who review them, and they keep you legally clean. They're not going to let you get in trouble if you listen to them. And the company that Rincon Property Management uses is petscreening.com. It's a third-party service. It's available to management companies. It's available to self-managing landlords. And what they do is you have the person fill out an application with them. They verify the disability. They contact the healthcare providers. They make sure that everything is in order. And then they tell you if it's a valid request or not. If you get the request back from them and they said it's valid, you need to accept that pet. But it's no longer a pet. Once you get it back, it's now considered a part of the person. Whatever the pet is, it helps offset their disability. So you cannot charge a pet deposit. You can't charge pet rent. You can't have them sign a pet addendum. So approving the animal is just part of it. It's how you accommodate the animal after it's approved is just as important. Now in our case, we have our law firm designed a assistance animal addendum that governs the behavior of the animal. Because just because you approve it doesn't mean that the animal can do whatever it wants. It can't go biting the neighbors or disrupting everybody. So you still are able to govern that. But you just want to make sure you're careful when you go down that path, and you want to have a lawyer look at that and make sure you're staying compliant. Now, petscreening.com, the CEO of the company is John Bradford. Great guy. Provides huge amount of value to landlords. They released a report recently of the last 15,000 requests for assistance animals, and they crunched the numbers and they put out some data. And it was very, very interesting because of the 15,000 applications, only 18 oh, I'm sorry, only 38% were approved, which leads you to say, well, what happened to all the other applications? 18% were denied due to fraud, and I think 43%, I might have my numbers wrong, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I will include the report so you guys can look at it. 43% never finished filling out the application. So what does that tell you? It tells you that some pet owners are circumventing landlords' no pet policies by saying they have an assistance animal. And if you as a self-managing landlord are there to try to stop that, it's a very legally precarious place to be, which is why you need to put it onto a third party. Anyway, those numbers speak volumes, and there's a bunch of other data in there. One thing that I thought was very interesting was the #1 breed for assistance animals requests was pit bulls. Now, I doubt that all people that need assistance animals are looking to get a pit bull to offset that. More than likely what was going on was renters with pit bulls know that most landlords preclude pit bulls and other aggressive breeds, so they're using this as an excuse. This is bad for landlords, it's bad for people with disabilities, because people with actual disabilities are getting a bad name because of these bad actors that are trying to circumvent these rules by lying, essentially. So that's the benefit of using a company like petscreening.com. Look them up, they're a great company. If you have if you want more information, if you want to reach out and see, ask any kind of question related to this, we're happy to connect with you. Just the thing I'll say is be careful when you are dealing with assistance animals. Make sure you're following the law, because nobody wants to end up with a lawsuit related to that. If you like this content, if you think this is something that's helpful, please subscribe and like our page, and we'll keep providing useful content like this for you. Have a good day.